how that happens.
Yep.
We did our best to
Josh
sell
says
the
take
1
it.
minute. What's that,
Yeah,
Jay?
we did. No, Josh in the chat says take the 5 and then blame the chat when it doesn't work. It worked in gold today.
It sure
It
did.
let us get into that 1 minute in gold, but sometimes it's not going to be the right trade. That's why you manage risk.
Yep. Absolutely.
We were fighting pretty hard to sell different time frames last week because all we were doing was the 5 minute in gold. So we're pushing for, I wouldn't say trying to persuade Chad, but we're playing devil's advocate a little bit. Why not the 1 minute? Why not the 3 minute? So we started playing the 1 minute based on the Chad votes. Chad started voting for the 1 minute in gold, so we started taking it. And the 5 minute was the trade today. We'll see how it stacks up tomorrow. Still no trigger in this crude trade.
I'm not blaming anybody, Josh.
I'm blaming you, Josh. I'm blaming you directly, Josh. Joking, of
House
course.
is
All right.
long.
We are in the market.
Long.
63.14. House count long. 5 micro crude. Got a CYA down at 62.83. $150 worth of risk on this trade.
That upside, Hogue, you were looking at 35s. Do you think it makes sense to manage there if we get up there?
No, it's not enough.
Not enough.
I want more.
I want it now.
I want it, and I want it now. Yeah, I mean, it kind of does.
Overnight high,
Yeah, it's
63.25. Coming up on it right now. Tapping on the ceiling to new highs as we speak.
$63.21 last trade in crude oil. We got a 70% long tilt, long from $63. So they are in the money right now. But 70% long. John Jones, so do I. So do I. Shout out to Eddie Horn. All right. We're in this trade. We're going to manage this one. House long from 63.14. Any news that we want to get to before we get into the NASDAQ charts, JD?
Absolutely. The word for the week is Fed, right? It's Fed week. Federal Reserve is widely expected to cut rates at the end of the 2-day Fed meeting, which starts tomorrow. We'll get that announcement on Wednesday at 1 o'clock Central Time. But the bigger question right now is one cut enough? How many more cuts will there be this year? One clue comes from the Fed dot plot. Took this article from Yahoo Finance, came out earlier this morning. The Fed dot plot updates quarterly, shows each official's prediction about the direction of the central bank's benchmark interest rate. So the last dot plot released in June revealed a consensus among Fed officials for 2 cuts this year, amid uncertainties about policies on tariffs, immigration, taxes, and how those things would affect the economy. So we're expecting a cut of 25 basis points at the end of this Fed meeting on Wednesday. But then President Trump comes out today and says it's too late and we must cut interest rates now and bigger than what we had in mind. Will that affect what the Fed is about to do when this 2-day meeting starts tomorrow? The consensus is for, I believe it's around 97%, according to the CME FedWatch tool, of a 25 basis point rate cut. Trump is calling for more. How many more additional cuts will there be going into the end of the year? At least one, but will they cut deeper than expected? That's the question. We're definitely going to have more information on this in the next couple of days, but headlines abound, should be coming out once the president starts chirping rates. You know the headlines are coming out, right?
So yes, they are.
And that affects the equity markets. What are we seeing in the NASDAQ this morning? S&P hitting new highs. What about the NASDAQ? How does that looking?
All right. On the weekly, last week, we broke out of a 3-week area of balance. And it was much more an area of balance than the kind of rising balance than we had in the S&Ps. The NASDAQ was lagging NASDAQ is catching up a little bit here. We've got the new weekly kickoff high here, 24.33 half. Excuse me, 24.335. And that's a measured move.
Order
similar to where the
filled.
weekly kickoff high has been for the S.